You know what I'm saying? We're live here in the Speakeasy. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy City. We got GP the Showboat. And back once again. You know what I'm saying? We got Heather Harper right here in the studio.
Yeah.
With her lovely mother. Thank you for being here.
Yeah. It's an honor and a privilege to have y'all back again.
So, lots happened, seems like, since you're sharing it now.
I'm sharing it on my page too so everyone can see. Yeah.
All right.
So go ahead, I'm listening. I can multitask.
I was going to say, yeah, so I mean, lots happened since you've been in here the last time.
Hasn't it been a year?
It's been a little bit over a year.
Oh, for a year. Oh, my gosh.
I actually just had to check. I was trying to refresh my memory. That was back in March of 2017. That's back when you were first releasing Moonlight.
That's right.
And then I think you also did a
music video.
A performance. Yeah, you did the music video for Moonlight. That's gone on to get looks like over 1,000 views on YouTube. Congratulations. Let's see.
Woo!
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, you've been doing a lot of performances. It looks like you did a performance at the East Texas Music Awards in September of the same year, and even had an interview with CBS 19 earlier this year. I saw.
Yeah,
So,
in January I got to perform live, and that was a really awesome experience.
Okay.
It was fun.
Already.
So tell us a little bit. I mean, that was just a brief recap.
Oh my gosh. Since I've seen you guys, I mean, everything just moves so fast from that point for me, and I've even been called the fastest growing artist in East Texas and the most booked artist in East Texas here recently.
Oh, yeah.
Here last year, here I was struggling to get shows because, or not last year, but it's actually been 2 years. I'm still like in my mind, 2016 was last year, but it's 2018. So actually a couple years ago is really when I started performing publicly a lot. And I was doing it part-time. And of course I've been singing and playing my guitar my entire life, but here recently getting to really take off doing it publicly. And so 2 years ago when I decided to first start performing, it was just a matter of playing shows for free just to get myself out there and get around. And then it wasn't long after that I was having venues contact me and wanting to book me. I mean, I'm still having to also contact some venues I want to play at.
Sure.
And it's really no time. They get back to me and I'm getting booked to play there. And so now I'm got like 5 to 8 shows a week.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
So now it's a full-time job. I've had to, of course I have a family and I do make time for them, and that's pretty much all the time I make. It's hard to even make time with a few friends that I have. I've lost a lot of friends because they don't understand how busy I am. Sure. And I just say, well, then they just weren't my true friends if they didn't understand.
Yeah, that's right.
A lot of them didn't have families anyway. I mean, I figured they didn't probably understand, but I do have a few friends that do, and they stick around, and I'm thankful for that. And they support me, and my family supports me, and especially my parents.
I get to be the babysitter.
Yes,
Oh,
she
yeah.
babysits a lot for me, because, you know, I have 2 kids that are 3 and 7, they're boys, and I'm married to a wonderful husband who supports me as well. And a lot of the times he can't go to shows either because it's back and forth babysitting. But obviously he has a career that he's now getting to do, and I'm doing my career, and we're just there supporting each other. We've been together for a very long time, and we've got a lot of time together now. We're focusing on family and career, and that way when we get time for retirement to come around, we can go and enjoy ourselves.
Right. American dream.
But this is a dream, like the music part of it. I mean, sure, if I'm 70 years old and I'm still up there on that stage, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you do it real well.
That's a good feeling to be able to do what you love, and especially if you can turn that into a career. You know, I think it's like Tracy always said, if you love what you're doing, you never work a day in your life, and I think that applies here. It's a blessing to be able to do that, as well as spend time with family and all of that. So congratulations to you on that. Yeah, I've been noticing, like, it seems like every week I'm going through Facebook and it's like, okay, that last week you were at Razoo's.
Last Thursday.
Last Thursday, yeah.
Yeah.
How did that show go? I didn't get a chance to make it. I know Tracy was there.
Yeah, he was there and he recorded a couple of songs
Yeah.
for the radio. It was really cool. It was great. It was my first time there. I think they just started live music this year. I don't know
Okay.
that. I found out like a few months ago that they were having live music. I didn't even know. Like, Tyler's starting to bring more of the live music, and I think that's great. So I don't have to travel out of town so much. Even though I love traveling out of town because then I get more and more out there, and I love venturing and traveling. So. But yeah, it was fun, and it had just stormed, and I think a lot of people were still afraid to come out, but they were actually sitting inside, and there were a few that sat outside, and I didn't know if it was going to rain again. Luckily, it didn't rain, but it was a good show. I had fun.
Oh yeah, we've been
I
getting
have fun at
rain
all of my shows.
week. Yeah, past couple weeks seemed like every other day.
Yeah.
Well, again, congratulations to that. Really happy to see your success. I mean, you've been going. I can see that you've been working really hard and being really consistent with your work. So I mean, it seems like it's really starting to show and to pay off. And again, I mean, I don't want to offend anybody, but I would say that you're probably one of the more prolific people we've had on the show, and I think even in the East Texas area. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I agree with that.
Thank you.
Raw talent. Yeah, I ever catch her out, y'all go and see her. She was live in the other studio the last time she was here. Hey, remarkable talent. Come out and see her.
I believe it was on the last time you were here. You had mentioned possibly wanting to do a name change. Are you still thinking about that, or
Actually, I did. 'Cause I remember when I released my Moonlight and My Emotions song, it completely went under opera singer. I mean, I still got the royalties, but it went under her music when you got to
Oh, no.
when you went to try to find me, you couldn't find me, and I didn't know that, and so I thought forever, what can I do without changing my name drastically, going away from Heather Harper? And so I thought of my middle name, except I changed the C to a K. And I make sure I researched it again,
Right.
really more thoroughly than I
There
did
you go.
before. And sure enough, there's no Heather Nikole Harper. So now I go by Heather Nikole Harper instead of
see.
just Heather Harper when I perform or release music or anything like that.
I see. So the real Nicole Heather Harper is here in the building, here in the Speakeasy. I'm saying, if y'all are tuned in right now, y'all don't be afraid to call in.
That's right.
The number is 1-Speak-7-3677, or if you need me to spell that out, that's 1-773-257-3677. You can even hit the little call icon on the webpage there. Looks like we got 4 people viewing on our page right now, so appreciate y'all tuning into the show. If y'all have any questions for Miss Heather Nikole Harper, you know what I'm saying, y'all don't be afraid to reach out or just hit us up in the chat box here. We're here live, and appreciate everybody tuning into the show. So I never even had a chance to hear I know you did the acoustic version of Emotions also last time you were here. I remember that one hadn't been quite released yet. For anyone that's interested in hearing that song, I assume HeatherHarperMusic.com, is that?
Yeah, that's my website. It leads you to everything on there, like my social media accounts and how to contact me and all that.
Okay.
There's a contact tab on there.
Gotcha.
And it
Sure.
also has my biography and about me and all that, and music and what's coming, what's already out.
Okay. And you had something new for us today, is that right?
Yes. I have actually been working on an album instead of releasing a single this year, and I'm still working on it. I'm about halfway through, and I'm working with Orlando Williams. He's actually from here in Tyler, and he's now nominated for Producer of the Year at ETX Music Awards.
Okay.
I put him in for that nomination, and he ended up getting nominated. And he's really, really great. He's helping me do the pop R&B EDM album for, it's going to be called Stronger, and it's all new material, and it's all songs that I've already been performing. Like, obviously, when I perform, it sounds more acoustic country, but it's a lot different on the album. And here next year, I'm wanting to do like a different version and kind of do like a more pop country for the other people out there that like that kind of music. So I just like to reach, because I like to perform all genres of music at my shows. I love doing it all and recording all kinds of music, and I think that's what makes me different from everyone else is I'm not just one genre.
Right.
I love doing it all, and I've grew up with all of it, country, gospel, pop, I mean, you name it.
Yeah.
So I want to do the pop. I've always been more pop, which is what I call myself as a pop artist.
Okay.
But I'm wanting to do something different and also releasing like a country version of it. So I think it'll be fun. Yeah, there's one other thing I want to talk about.
Sure.
Yeah, we were talking about being sick earlier and stuff. Not a lot of people know that I have Crohn's disease. And so I'm actually tired all the time.
Okay.
And sometimes I'll get stressed out from doing the music career thing with family, and then it really makes it harder for people to understand, why friends don't understand that I can't always be there. It's not always because I have a busy schedule, but I'm just always tired, so when I have time to rest, I'm going to take it, and I need to. Because I was actually in the hospital back in December of 2016. That was the only show I've canceled since then. I've not canceled a show since. I've been sick, but I've managed to push through with bronchitis singing. And people didn't even notice I was sick. But the one time I did have to cancel a show at Clicks was December of 2016. I got really sick and almost died. And almost waited too late to go to the hospital. Because I'm actually one of those that tries to push through being sick and won't go to the doctor. And I'm stubborn. I hate hospitals and doctors. But after that scare, it really made me rethink everything and my life and all that. And I was in the hospital for a week, having to get back my fluids and everything and antibiotics to get my inflammation to go down. And I've now kind of found the right treatment. Every now and then I'll still have a flare-up with it. But I pretty much have it moderate to severe. It's not just mild, it's moderate to severe. And here recently we found out my husband might have it. He's actually got an emergency hospital visit tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
It's weird that we both might have Crohn's. And our son, too, is having to go.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I've heard it's genetic.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
scary. And I've been struggling with it ever since
A lot of
2013.
people don't know what Crohn's is. Though.
They
It's
don't.
Like where your immunity.
It's an autoimmune disease.
It attacks itself.
It attacks itself, yes.
Yeah.
It's basically where, you know how your, it'll fight off all the bad bacteria. Well, it's also fighting, it thinks the good bacteria is bad bacteria too, so it's fighting that off as well.
Okay.
And it'll keep going and keep going, fighting off all the good stuff with the bad stuff, thinking it's that. Is that the best way, I guess, I can explain it to you?
I mean, that makes sense. I don't know a whole lot about it, so I mean,
Yeah.
coming from that viewpoint, not knowing anything, I feel a little bit more educated. That's crazy to hear. So I mean,
It's stomach ulcers
it sounds
too,
terrible,
and
but at the same time, I
inflammation.
mean, if it's fighting off both, it almost seems does that cancel out? Probably not exactly. Maybe that's what results in the fatigue and being
Yes,
tired. I
yes.
gotcha.
Vitamin
Okay.
deficiency and anemia
see.
and all that. Yes, and
Oh,
I've had
man.
all of that. And I'm finally starting to get my health back and just been going from doctor to doctor trying to find the right one. And I have to have a colonoscopy like every 1 to 3 years because I'm a high risk for cancer.
I see.
And also having that part of the colon removed. But there's also like a 50% chance that it could come right back in any other part. It can affect anywhere from the mouth to your butt. I mean, but I have it in the small intestine, and that's like the most common area for the Crohn's disease to happen. And I just also have to be careful. There are certain foods that trigger flare-up, and I just have to be
Hard
careful
being on the
because...
road,
Yeah, it is hard to be on the road
to
when...
eat right,
Mhm.
and it's. I can't believe how she juggles everything. I mean, juggles everything. I should say, like she does. She does.
I
a
don't,
pretty
I
good
just
job
do it.
Considering everything, like,
Because I'm determined
I was about to say, it sounds like you're
I'm
powering
determined.
through, and that's good.
in my career.
she
Because
does
I've always
good.
wanted to do this, and I'm getting to do it, and I'm not going to let that stop me. I can't let it define me.
That's
Right,
right. That's
right.
right.
So... But I'm here, I'm alive.
That's good.
near-death
That's good.
experience. I don't think I ever.
Make you appreciate life more.
Yes,
It's
yes.
just more
It made me
determined.
appreciate a lot of things more, and I'll make sure I won't go back to that. If I do, then that's something I can't help. But
Right.
I'm here. I'm alive, and we're good.
And we're grateful to have you here.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I think with that, we're getting close to time, so we're going to go ahead and call it. But
Yeah.
appreciate everybody that's been tuning in. Looks like we've at least had somebody tuning in for the entire duration of the show, and I do appreciate
It might be my
that.
husband.
Oh yeah.
I appreciate everybody that's called in today. I appreciate everybody that's been watching in the background in silence, and the people that have been in the chat box chatting with us. I appreciate Heather Harper for being here today and debuting some new music, and
I'm excited for it to come out. I can't wait.
we'll be on the lookout this fall.
That's right.
Yes, full.
All right. Well, Speakeasy World, we are tuning out. Again, it's your boy City. We got GP the Showboat
More
and
love.
Miss
See you
Heather
next
Nikole Harper.